Hey everyone! Numerous states have recently announced that they'll begin rolling back their mask mandates. This includes areas of the country that have taken a very cautious approach throughout the health crisis, like the West Coast, the Northeast, and Chicago. As I say this, I hear the famous words, hope springs eternal. A month ago, the Omicron Wave surged to a daily infection rate of nearly 250 cases per 100,000 people, but it's back under wraps. There were just 39 cases per 100,000 people reported in mid-February. The economic impact of the Omicron surge was likely pretty significant. As cities and states tightened restrictions, hospitals were overwhelmed, and business output sagged. But it looks like we are getting past that hurdle. Finally. But there's an important change happening. I'm hearing the word endemic being used more frequently. Basically, if COVID is endemic, it means the virus is still around, but most people have some level of defense, either through vaccination or because they already had the virus. As a result, the belief is that COVID will be less deadly and fewer restrictions will need to be in place. That is an important shift in thinking, a trigger point. If COVID is considered endemic, that implies government restrictions will be reduced and people will finally begin to get back to normal. We're already seeing that change begin to manifest. Air travel, as reported by the TSA, is just 8% below where it was prior to the pandemic. Hotel occupancy rates overall are nearly back in alignment with pre-COVID levels. But if you drill even deeper, you find that limited service occupancy rates are ahead of where they were before the pandemic, while full service hotels that cater to business travelers are still falling short. But if we do hit the point where COVID is endemic, then business travel should reemerge and full service hotels could gain momentum. Likewise, looking at the actual occupancy of office properties based on key card entries, it appears that a rising percentage of employees are returning to the office. The share of people going to the office is still below the most recent peak of last December, which was in between the Delta wave and the Omicron wave, but the trend is pointing up. Again, if we are entering an endemic phase and we don't have another major deadly wave of the pandemic on the horizon, we will likely begin to see how the future of office space demand will play out. Finally, there's retail. As mask mandates and society shifts gears, retail could see additional momentum, especially experiential retail and businesses with higher levels of social interaction like gyms, restaurants, and movie theaters. As I said at the beginning, hope springs eternal. And I'm pretty optimistic about the possibility of getting through this pandemic and getting back to business. That will bring a lot of properties that investors have been cautious about, like offices and retail centers, back into the mainstream. It's simply a matter of time. And the investors that look forward are already targeting the diamonds in the rough because they have their eyes on the horizon.